After 6 weeks of nationwide protests, opposition to the Citizenship Amendment Act came before India's Supreme Court on Wednesday. But the groups which filed petitions against the law were disappointed with the judge's decision.
Supreme Court ko, sarkar ko, sabko pata hai ki desh mein kya ho raha hai.
The Supreme Court, the government, everyone knows what's happening in the country. Yet the 4 weeks that was given to the government was done to waste time. We don't think the people of India are happy with what the court has said.
More than 100 petitions have been filed with the court, which say the fast tracking of citizenship to minorities from 3 neighbouring countries, but not Muslims, goes against India's secular constitution. But the court itself has been criticised recently for yielding to government pressure on some of the most contentious issues. Judges ruled last year on India's most controversial religious site. In 1992, Hindu mobs destroyed the 16th century mosque in Ayodhya, sparking riots which killed more than 2,000 people. Despite acknowledging that the mosque's destruction was unlawful, the Supreme Court allocated the land for the construction of a Hindu temple while giving the Muslim community an alternative piece of land to build a mosque.
It was not a fair judgment at all. And of course, it was, if I am allowed to say so, at whatever risk and cost, it was based on the public sentiment more, majority sentiment more, and so-called orchestrated majority sentiment, I would like to say.
Critics also point to what they say is the court's inaction in Indian-administered Kashmir. Its leaders remain detained and the internet is still cut off in many places. 5 months after the government revoked autonomy, the court is yet to rule on whether that is constitutional.
The Supreme Court is in charge of its own calendar.
Advocate SANJAY HEGDE has worked at the Supreme Court for 3 decades and says he's never seen the judiciary under so much pressure from the government.
This is the first government which has been at the receiving end of the judiciary before it came to power. It was subject to quite a bit of scrutiny in individual cases. So they know the power of the judiciary and they set out to tame the judiciary.
The Supreme Court has also come under criticism from within its own ranks, with senior judges questioning the relationship between the government and the judiciary. It's been 2 years since 4 Supreme Court judges held an unprecedented news conference to raise the alarm about how India's highest court was being run. They said then that unless the institution is preserved, democracy won't survive. Now, protesters against the citizenship law are scrutinising the court to see if its independence has been preserved. Elizabeth PURANAM, Al Jazeera, New Delhi.